Somerville High School. I'd like to thank this year's senior basketball players and cheerleaders for their contribution to the SHS community of student athletes. We were going to give Framingham a round of applause. Let's just give it up for their seniors. A few quick acknowledgements. We'd like to present flowers to the following ladies that help us run our games and do a lot for these kids behind the scenes. Chair Coach Ali Caprigno, Jacob. Class of 2016, athletic trainer Gabby Vieira. Class of 2021, bookkeeper Elizabeth McEwen. And they're not here tonight, but we'd like to acknowledge Michelle Kelly, our athletic trainer, and our 1,000-point scorer, assistant athletic trainer, Indira Vora. Athletic director, excuse me. All right, our first senior cheerleader, accompanied by Sister Adriana, Sister Samara, Hadassah Cruz. Our next senior cheerleader, accompanied by Mom Manuela, Dad Simon, Sister Celeste, Madeline Fowler. Accompanied by friends Yasmin and Ethan, Eclipse Felix. Basketball players. We'd like to have the Framingham seniors stand up and just acknowledge you on all your accomplishments. Wish you guys well. Okay, our first senior basketball player. Here with him, mother Francisca, aunts Anna and Lilu, brother Anderson, and lots of cousins, nieces, and nephews. Please welcome number 11, Alex DeCruz. Popular guy. sliding contest here. This is not a repeat. Our next senior is also accompanied by his mom, Francisca, Aunt Anna, and Lulu, brother, Alexander, lots of cousins, lots of nieces and nephews, a lot of friends. Number 15, Anderson de Cruz. I think Anderson got us in there as well now. All right, and last but not least, our last senior is accompanied by his mother, Brooke, dad, Andy, sister, Olivia, Aunt Jenny, Uncle Eric, some cousins. Please welcome number 3, Jackson Hyman. Thank you to all the families for all their support throughout the years, and once again, congratulations to the class of 2025.
Since then, they have gone 7-2, beating Powers, sweeping 2 games against Medford, beating Revere at Revere, and a very special event occurred in that game, which we'll talk about during the first time out. And of course, sweeping Malden. Not that that has any effects on the standings of the GBL, which we'll get to later on. Tonight, the Highlanders are facing a non-league opponent, the Framingham Flyers, who are 3-12. They are out of the tournament. They in Division 1. They are part of the Bay State Conference, which I'll go over later in the game. They play a very competitive schedule. A lot of players here with a lot of height. Watch out for Dylan Gold, James Augustin, and Daw St. Valerie. Daw is one of their top players, along with Dylan and James Augustin. Those 3 players will be difficult to guard for Somerville. Somerville needs to keep playing and rotating their players in and out. However, you will see the beginning of the game. The seniors will start. Coach Antonelli and the coaching staff are very proud of their seniors, and they'll stay in there for probably 3 to 5 minutes, and then he'll sub in back his regulars. The main key for tonight is you have 3 home games. All non-league opponents all teams under 500, all teams that are going to be close to making the tournament. Only is Peabody. Plymouth North is out. Actually, yeah, Peabody's close. Peabody's 8-10, so Peabody still has a chance. So Peabody will be fighting for their lives, but your Plymouth North and your Framingham Flyers are all out of the tournament, or two of them. So you have 3 home games in a row tonight, the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you and to all of those who are above us and around us who are wearing red. I was criticized earlier for not wearing a red tie. However, I'm wearing the trueness of the blue tonight, because tonight this team has to remain true to their goal of getting to the tournament. You have worked your way all the way back from 1-7 to 8-9. We will now get your starting 5 and your national anthem to lead this team forward. Here you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Eugene Broome Fieldhouse here at Somerville High School for tonight's game, as your Somerville Highlanders will face off against non-league opponent, the Framingham Flyers. Somerville leads the way in ensuring sporting events are safe and enthusiastic. Please give honor and respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, families, and fans during tonight's game. Not doing your part to ensure Somerville athletic events are safe and positive may result in being told to leave and being banned from local sporting events. And now the starting lineup for the visiting Flyers. Number 1, Dylan Gold. Number 2, Stephen Montague. Number 4, Max Blue. Number 13, James Augustine. And number 21, Daw St. Hilaire. The Flyers are coached by Mr. Patrick Ferdinand. And now the starting lineup for your Somerville Highlanders. A 6'7" guard, sophomore, number 2, Julian Goodrich. A 6'2" forward, senior, number 3, Jackson Hyman. A 5'9" guard, junior, number 10, Captain Tommy Griffin. A 6'0" forward, senior, number 11, Alex Cruz. And number 15, a 6' forward, senior, number 15, Harrison Cruz. The Highlanders are coached by Mr. Mark Antonelli.
Your starters: Gold, Stephen, Max Blue, Augustine, and Daw. For Somerville, Jackson Pyman, Alex DeCruz, Anderson DeCruz, your seniors, then Julian and Tommy Griffin. Your officials tonight: Michael Inohosa is your umpire, and Wayne Pandolf is your referee. Look for the Flyers to try to get on a run. Look for Somerville to try to get some points early for the Anderson twins. And hopefully they can get the crowd going, because people remember what Alex did in his starting role, hitting 2 threes to start off earlier in the season. A lot of fans coming in right now around me. The tap will be to Tommy Griffin. All the way in for 2. Does he step on the baseline? No. Passes to Anderson. They're going to run a lot of plays to try to get these players some points. Foul, out of bounds, Pandolf, please. Action stolen by Max Blue. Bringing the ball up will be number 13, Augustin. Passes it over to Blue. What is this bus in front of me? Over to Gould. Gould. Dylan misses. Rebound to Julian. It's kicked out of bounds. Shot clock remains at 28. Does not reset when it's that high in the clock. If you look around the court, as I noticed during the anthem, all the banners have been rearranged. I'd find a different spot for the Ring of Honor, but that's just me. Over to Cruz. Gets it stripped away, but they're going to call a jump ball. Full court pressure by the Framingham Flyers. Daw to Dylan. Max Blue at the top of the key. Stutter step, drives hard, drives strong off the glass. Gets the rebound again to Julian. Recovers the turnover. Travel on Tommy Griffin, no call. Julian travels, no call. Cruz travels, no call. Rebound to Blue. And that's what happens in these senior games when you have players trying to get points early for some of these guys. Steele, Jackson Pyman, he doesn't need any points. Looks for the outlet pass, but gives it back to calm down to Julian as he brings the ball up. 6:09, no score so far. Julian is getting double teamed and triple teamed. Holds his pivot foot. Tommy Griffin for 3, count it. Starts off the game with a 3. Gives them the 3-point lead early. Push off. Offensive foul on Steven Montage. His first, team's first. Patrick Ferdinand done. Lot of history behind him coaching, which we'll talk about during a timeout coming up. Jackson Pyman for 3. Somerville coming out with a 3-point offense, which has given them so much in this string of wins to get to the tournament. But Framingham comes right back, count it. James Augustin hits a 3 of his own. As I mentioned earlier, he's going to be a key figure for this team to knock Somerville off their block here. But 2 threes already for Somerville. Let's see how long Coach Antelli stays with this lineup. Travel, turnover. At one point in the schedule, I seem to remember there were 2 games against Framingham. A disastrous GBL embarrassment going on right now. We'll talk about that later on as well. Out of bounds remains Somerville's ball. Fix the net during the dead ball here, guys. 4:44 left to go. That swish was so good by Jackson Pyman. It cornered the net, hooked it up off the glass. Rebound, skies in, is Saint-Vier. First timeout, we'll go over what these guys play and what conference they're in. Julian gets ball stolen from him. In the painted area, all the way down for 2. Rebound to Tommy Griffin. Tommy Griffin has the ball. They'll say kick. Sub didn't even go to the scorer's table. Number 20 is coming in. Ryan. You know, do we do any rules here at all, guys? DeSapi, Ryan DeSapi. Should be able to tap the table as you're calling in the score to coming in to enter the game. Tell you, next step ball, tell you we used to have to do in the FIBA rules. All the way, breaks the press, foul. Should be on number 11. No, Jackson Pyman. Going to the line for 2 will be Max Blue. When you played international, I was growing up in Mexico, we had to check into the scores table and you had to say number 13, 4, 5. Imagine if these guys had to go to the scores table, the scoreboard's out. Somebody kicked the cable out. Check that cable. One time, Somerville was playing Medford and the game was in overtime. And in the same location, Coach Harris got back from the girls' game and he kicked the cable out in celebration, and the final horn never sounded. But those are memories of old years gone by. Max Blue misses both. Rebound to Anderson. Crashes in the boards. They're going to call a foul on number 20, who checked in earlier. That's Ryan. His first, team second. 3:57 to go. Julian gets called for a carry. Goal clock's running. Shot clock never ran. And they're checking all the connections. Something was not pressed, so shot clock's not running. As I was saying, some of you might know Coach Brian Harris. He is on target for his 500 victory, which could occur this weekend, could occur after that in the MIA tournament. He is the head coach of Prospect Hill Academy, girls coach. And if you know him, give him a call. You will not have to say anything. He will talk the entire time. You know, one time I was driving and my phone fell out of my hand back when you didn't have to do hands-free. It fell underneath the seat. I had to pull over, pull the seat back, and pick up the phone. He had no idea I dropped the phone. He was still talking. Back to live action, 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. Same lineups remain. 2-3 zone. Matchup 2-3 zone for Framingham. Basically a box and one on Jackson Pyman. Up fake. That was going to Jackson Pyman, but Julian still in shot clock's under 10. Over to Tommy Griffin for 3 more, gets fouled. That's going to be 3 shots, and Max Blue can't believe it, but that'll be his first, team's third. Tommy Griffin going to the line for 3 free throws. If he was behind the line, 3 free throws. Later in the game, I'm going to read a rule from page 17 in the rule book that I've violated for years. But as I once told an AD from another school, I've been doing this for a long time and I know what I'm doing. And he looked at me and said, I've been doing this a long time too and I know what I'm doing. Tommy Griffin way over the line, but it counts. One more. Tommy Griffin with 5 quick points. Will he go 3 for 3? Push off on number 2. Steven, but no call. But he gets the rebound. Over to Blue. James Augustin looks to run the offense. Gets a screen. Not needed. They're coming to press her out and trap him, but somebody's open. Down the middle. Blocked by Julian. I would say it was a foul on the body by Jackson Pyman, but no call. Julian gets stripped by Dylan, but he gets it back. 2:55 left. Another, this matchup zone is killing Somerville. Now Jackson Pyman steps into it. Count it. What a way to start off his senior game with 11-3 lead over the Framingham Flyers. Now Somerville coming out with a little trap of their own. Dylan gets trapped. Off. James Augustin recovers, but he's getting trapped again. Somebody's open. Off the board, gets the board. Foul in the back by Jackson Pyman. That's 2 fouls. He's coming out. Rebound to Max Blue. Offensive board. Max Blue, who missed 2 free throws. Oh, you called it on Alex? Please. Seriously? We'll have to roll that one back. Anderson with the board. That's 2. 2 minutes in the quarter. Julian over to Tommy. To Anderson. Tommy dribbling through, looking for Anderson for 3. He drives strong. Gets cut off. Tommy Griffin just catches it above his head and shoots off Framingham same way. Oh! I thought that was off Steven. Somerville with a 1-2-2 press. Looking to trap in the backcourt. They're going to trap Dylan on the first pass, but Dylan wisely throws it away quickly. Right cross court, somebody's open. Coming, ripped away by Augustin. They're going to attack the baseline. Another foul. That should be 3 on Jackson Pyman, but they're saying it's only 2. Going to the line will be number 20, Ryan DeSapi. Here they come. Here comes Jacob. Here comes Danny. Here comes James. I mean, not James. Reed. Big hand to your seniors. The fan base not happy with the Anderson twins coming out. DeSapi looking to make his second. Over the no call. Board by Steven. Rebound to reverse layup. Tommy Griffin. Give Jacob the defensive board. All the way in for 2. Steven scores to make it 13-6. Still putting that pressure on, but Danny Schmidt says, I don't care. Max Blue at the block. Jacob over to Reed. Reed attacks the baseline to Julian. Julian, top of the key, works it. Attacks the middle. Finds Tommy Griffin on the right wing. Tommy Griffin gets dribbled in, gets a turnover. Tommy Griffin's a little exhausted. Get him out. He's done a lot of pressure here. Count it. Max Blue. He has 4. Stretching out that 2-1-2 zone now. But they're staying up box and 1. Right there in the middle. Tommy Griffin to the pass. Jacob will go to the line for 2. Hard to see who that foul is going to be on. They're saying 20. Foul is on number 20, Ryan. That's his second, team's 4th. Jacob Underwood Roach, who has really made a huge difference since that Boston Latin game in early January on the 7th. He has hit his free throws, he has rebounded, he has covered, and mainly he has scored those points that you did not expect. Number 21, Daw, is coming back into the game, most likely for number 20. No, he's coming in for number 2, Steven. 30 seconds left in this quarter. Somerville is painfully getting close to the line on those free throws. 15-9 lead. They're trapping him on the sideline. Using the sideline is another defender. Augustin starts the offense. 15-9, only a 6-point deficit for the Flyers. Dylan wants the ball. Over in a low block. For 3 more, Max Blue. Save attempt, stepped on the baseline is Dylan, gives a great tap off Julian as he's standing on the baseline, and the ball will be Framingham underneath the basket with 1.5. Look for a quick 3 from Max Blue. For 3. At the end of the quarter is 15-9. We mentioned Patrick Faradan. He is the former girls coach from Watertown. The Watertown girls basketball program were Division North champions in 2015. People will remember Coppola, who was the starting point guard, Gianna Coppola, and the Forte sisters. Felicia Forte played at UMass Lowell, and it was a dominant program for Mr. Faradan. He left to coach at Framingham back in 2023 after all those years at Watertown and playing Somerville twice in the 1920 year. The girls, a huge blowout back early in the season at Watertown. Give him credit for that coaching performance. Patrick Faradan and the Framingham the girls team, Division III, moving up to Division I. Several of those players went to play Division I programs, but you got to remember how much dominance he'd had at the Watertown team. And we thank him for his service, thank him for doing what he's doing now with this team of Framingham. He lives close to the Framingham, left Watertown to be close to his family, but people will never forget what he did with Watertown, especially those championships and getting to the North Final and to the state championship game for Watertown. Back to live action. Danny Schmidt in the corner, over to Julian, dribbles through, tipped away, all the way. Pass, Max Blue recovers. You're gonna see Ryan run the offense now. Steal by Tommy Griffin. Tommy Griffin finds Julian. Dangerous pass, please. Julian finds a wide open Danny Schmidt off the back rim. Over the back by Reed. No call. Look up to Reed. No. Reed, and the ball gets tipped out of bounds, but it will still be Framingham ball as Julian looked to cover Dylan Gold. Now we're going to have the ball brought up by Augustin. Augustin controls the offense with Tommy Griffin still in this lineup, not taking a breather yet. Into the painted area. For 3, Augustin miss. Ripped away by number 2, Steven. He's got 3 rebounds. Over to Blue, drives the baseline, strong, count it. 6 points for Blue. And it's only a 4-point game. My heart is here next to me. To Julian. Over to Tommy Griffin. Shot clock on the 20. Reed recovers the ball. Finds again Danny Schmidt, but turnover for Somerville. Coach Antelli needs a timeout. These guys are turning the ball over left and right. Gould recovers in the low block. Number 2, Steven, off the glass for 2. No miss. What is this bust in front of me? Gould for 3. ripped away. Another rebound, defensive, offensive board. Gold has 2 rebounds on that series. Somerville wants a timeout, it looks like it. Foul is on Julian. Timeout, Somerville. So, you'll remember as we mentioned earlier, records not broken. However, Revere has been a very kind facility to Somerville scorers. Nobody will ever remember the 21 points that Julio Rivera scored in the 2002 season in the first half against Revere. Mark Garrity scored 32 points in Revere his sophomore year. The Somerville girls won in Revere against Lynn Classical to get to the Division I North Championship in 2006. And on the 3rd of February, Julian Goodrich scored 32 points to lead Somerville to a 73-64 win and to split with Revere Patriots. So Julian, as a sophomore, scored 32 points. He is now in the 30 club for the Somerville players, something nobody can ever take away from him. Did it against a high-quality team, did it against a competitive game. So that is something that nobody can ever take away from him. Congratulations to Julian Goodrich for scoring 32 points against Revere. If these guys could hit their free throws, they'd be in the lead. They are currently 1 for 7. Coincidentally, Somerville was 1-7 earlier in the year. Knocks it down the second, and it is now a 3-point lead for the Highlanders. Next time out, we'll talk about the fiasco that's going on with the GBL. Reed over to Julian, to Griffin, who still has not come out of the game. Danny Schmidt off the side of the backboard, please. Gold with the board. Augustin, low block turnaround. Augustin's still one of the better players we have in the Herget division. I mean, in the, not the Herget, they're in the top division. He'll come to me. Remember, guys, I'm doing this all off the top of my head. Julian, Tommy, looks for, again, Schmidt, low block, passes over to Reed. They're trying to find Jacob in the low block, but they're collapsing that zone every time Jacob gets the ball. 5:20 left to go in the first half. 15-12 lead. Throw it in the backcourt. They're looking to Julian as they'll restart their offense with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Hinojosa to hand the ball to Jacob. Screen. Tommy Griffin for Julian off the back of the rim. Rebound to number 21, Daw. Not to be confused with Da. Max Blue. Hit a big 3 all the way baseline attack. No foul, please. Foul is on Danny Schmidt. His first, team's 4th. These guys play in the highly competitive Patriot League. No, Bay State Conference. What am I thinking? Bay State Conference in the Cary Division. That's 1 for 3 from the line. Cary Division, we have Newton North, Brookline, Wellesley, Natick, Framingham. In the Herget Division. Rebound to Jacob. Next time out, I'll talk about that. I'm getting distracted here by a red heart. Danny Schmidt. In the game is Jackson Smith. Over to Tommy. Holds his pivot foot wisely. 10 seconds. Turnover. No, they recover. Jacob, 3. Danny Schmidt at the buzzer. Rebound ripped away by number 2, Steven. All the way to Max Blue. Recovers. Gets a block by Reed. Reed with the block. Somewhere on the backcourt. Tommy Griffin. The times when Julian has been hurt, Tommy Griffin has played the point. Oh, he's out of bounds, please! Should have been a reset off the glass, no call. Rebound to Jacob Underwood, offensive board. Now, number 2, not by intention, but he was standing out of bounds in the red, tapped the ball. It should have been a reset for Somerville, out of bounds, Framingham, but the officials did not see it. See if they give a makeup call right now. Fouls on number 21, Daw, his first. Remember, the quarter's reset. It's the first of the quarter. There's your, oh, that's an offensive foul. Foul is on White 5 on Reed. His first, team's third. These guys playing the Bay State Conference I mentioned. Bay State Conference is known for double headers with the girls and boys. I would strongly get away from that. Let the girls have the focus of the night. In the low block. Recovers well. Good thing he didn't dribble, would have been double dribble. Gold sets a screen. Jacob pushed him right into the screen. Reverse layup. Gets a rebound. Jacob, somebody grab it. Reed ends up with it. Give Reed the board. Jacob is pushing left and right tonight, but Tommy Reed, Dylan with the board. That's 4 rebounds for Dylan Gold. 3 minutes to go, and it's a 2-point lead as Augustin slips it up. Screen, a lot of pushing going on for Somerville, please. Danny Schmidt just pushed him right into him. All the way down the middle, blocked by Reed. Turnover again, but they recover. It's 2 blocks for Reed. Over to Danny. He wants a 3. He gets away from the long arms. Count it. It's just a matter of time before Danny Schmidt finds that 3-point line and scores. And timeout for Framingham, as I will go a chance to go over. Colin Bourne is going to come into the game. Okay, here you go. Bay State Conference. Newton North. They are undefeated in the league. Brookline, Wellesley, Natick, and Framingham. That's the Kerry division. They're split up into 2 divisions. The Hergert division is Braintree, Needham, Milton, Walpole, and Weymouth. In that part, Braintree is leading 11-2. So you get 2 divisions. The GBL attempted to do that. Now, if somebody hands me 3 tablespoons of cinnamon and says, put this down your throat, and then they give me some white vinegar, that will cause a disruption in my throat. I'm not going to do that to have to go to the hospital. So I'm wise enough not to do that. If somebody comes to you with this idea to split the GBL up into 2 divisions with 4 teams, okay, that's just as equal as a bad idea. But yet, everybody agreed to it, and at this time, nobody wants to take responsibility for it. Nobody wants to take responsibility for who is the GBL champion in the girls division. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows if a team's there. They're talking about emails coming back left and right, and yet you're going to have a paper champion because nobody knows who was supposed to be playing. Teams don't know who was counting the GBL games and not the GBL games against the opponents. The Boston Globe has you as 1 division. The MIA in their league directory, has you as 1 division of 8 players. So the MIA is not acknowledging it. The Boston Globe is not acknowledging it. So it should not be acknowledged as 2 divisions. So there you go. Please bring it back to 8 divisions. All the way down the middle. Foul on Colin Bourne. Foul is on Colin Bourne. Down the middle, number 21, Daw, who I mentioned before the game will be a dominant force in this game, looking for the 3-point play. So, we worked so hard to bring the GBL back to respectability, to get them to 8 teams. Phone calls were made for years by certain people. Phone calls were made to me to help out, and yet we have this problem. So, it's an embarrassment to me. I'm embarrassed personally, and that's just me. Not saying with anybody else, but that's just me. And I will not acknowledge any champion this year from any of the divisions, girls or boys, but that's just me. 1:57 left to go, 3-point lead for Somerville. Number 14 checked into the game. Jaden, last timeout. Colin Bourne, a low block guarding, trying to stop Steven. Rebound. Colin rips it away, and he should be playing big minutes with this team and this power that they have. Colin travels, no call. And the coaching staff for Framingham says, where's the travel? Julian gets fouled. And the coaching staff again questions the call. Foul will be on 13, James. That's his first. Teams and Julian going to the line. Julian has nothing in his docket yet. This will be his first. In a tribute to Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary, they once had a commercial called Bad Idea Jeans. And every person involved should have said to the idea people to split the divisions up into two. That's a bad idea. But that's all I'll say. 5-point lead for Somerville. Screen by number 11 who just checked in. Zach Schneider. Steal by Jacob. What a pass. And they can't believe the foul. And that would have been a great way to finish off the break as ball will be inbounded with 1:15 to go. Don't fall for any of these TikTok challenges. Next time out, I'll read a rule that I violated for years. Up fake Julian. There he is again. Colin Bourne just dominating the game. 2 rebounds by Colin Bourne. And at this size with Framingham, he's going to be getting big minutes in the second half. Colin for 3. Count it! 42 seconds to go as Blue gets the ball. Gets away from Reed. Blue gets fouled, no call. Schneider at the top of the key. Off the glass, ripped away by Jacob. Nobody's playing better than Jacob Underwood Roach right now. Over the back, Julian. All the way in for 2. Does he catch it? Tommy Griffin. No stopping Tommy as he's played the entire half. Tommy doesn't get. Colin for 3 more. Over the back, please. Foul will be called with 0.8 to go. You're lucky he wasn't over the back call and having more time. Hidalgo. No, Hinojosa. Says it's on 4. Foul is on Max Blue. Carlin's coming into the game for the alley-oop. Shane DeRosa once had a 2-hand slam on the break at that end of the court on a fast break with players guarding him. It was not a wide open dunk. That's Shane right there in here to support his family. Looking for the lob to Carlin's. Foul! Please, ran him over. My heavens. Julian going to the line with no time on the clock. Foul is on James Augustine, his second. If I was Framingham, I would go to the locker room. Been a very active, hard fouling game, and Julian got run over as an attempt to get the inbound pass. He's at the line with the most pressure in the world, with everyone watching him. Will he go 4 for 4? See, Framingham's leaving. That's what I would do. Go to the locker room. 4 for 4, Julian from the line. And at the half, they have a 10-point lead, 25-15, and we will see you at the corner. And we're back at the half. For Framingham, 2 points for Da, 3 points for Augustine. The home book has him with 3 fouls. The Framingham book has him with 2. The home book comes out winner. Max Blue, actually Stephen with 4 and Max Blue with 6. 1 timeout taken by Framingham. For Somerville, 2 points for Jacob, 3 for Colin, 3 for Danny, 4 for Julian, 6 for Jackson Pyman, leading the way Tommy Griffin with 7, for a total of 25. They have a 25-15 lead. It was down to 3 at one point, even down to 2. We're going to switch to Blue for the second half. Both teams took one timeout. Foul trouble. The home book has Augustine with 3. The home book wins out. Somerville has 2 fouls on Jackson Pyman. Everybody else with 1. Let's see who the Somerville coaching staff brings out. They are coming out with their traditional starting lineup of Jacob, Reed, Tommy, Jackson Pyman, and Julian. For some reason, we only got Carlins for that one alley-oop attempt. What is this bus in front of me? The plane just landed. Augustine. Reed falls to the ground. Attacks the baseline is number 2, Steven. He now has 6. They will pressure you. Gold in the backcourt. Jackson Pyman getting in all the way for 2 off the glass. There's just no stopping Jackson Pyman. He has 8 points. He is a true leader of this program. Reed with a foul, no call. Max Blue gets away with it. Directing traffic is number 21, Da, who's running your offense over to Augustine. Gold for 3. Power rebound in the paint is number 2, but Griffin comes away with it. All the way for 2 is Steven. He's got 8. Have you ever been to a gym where people just walk around? Sit down and watch the game. Got a great game going on here. Over to Reed. Gold, pressure defense. Ferdinand says, where are you? Julian wants the 3, gets fouled, but turnover all the way in for 2. Will he block it? But he disrupts it. Rebound somehow to Jackson Pyman. Reed for 3. Off back rims. Push off, no call. Same way. No, Framingham ball. Ball is off Julian. 6:30 left to go in the third. James Augustine brings the ball up over to Da. Da gets pressured by Jackson Pyman. Da travels, no call. Over to Steven. All the way for 2 off the glass. Julian rips it away. No, it's out of bounds off Julian. He tries to tap it. What? Didn't that just go off Julian out of bounds? Well, you know, it helps to have a partner here. Kevin Scott on temporary assignment. He is scouting the Bay State Conference tonight. 5:55 left to go in the third. Foul on Tommy Griffin, moving screen, no call. Julian for 3, back rims. Rebound to Da. Or Dow. Or Da. 5:40 left to go. Next time out, I'll read the power rankings. Pandolf says nothing here. Coming out, Tommy Griffin, pressure, but he leaves. Augustine, Gold. Nice, beautiful pass in the paint. Foul on Jackson Pyman, please. That's 3 now. Jackson's gonna have to sit down. Nobody helps out Augustine until his teammates come over for him. What? Augustine. I'll have to see the replay on that one there, Joe. Fouls on Tommy Griffin. Now, as we watch the replay right now, you'll see the hands go in there, and Jackson Pyman gets called for a technical. So he does get his third foul. But I'm watching the replay right now, Joe. Thank you for that replay, and we can see that the foul was on Tommy Griffin. Who's shooting? You shoot in progression. So the foul is first. Augustine. Technical foul on Jackson Pyman. So that is a third foul on Jackson Pyman. Should be his 4th. Augustine misses. Tell you, very active and hard-fought game tonight. Rims out. Augustine has missed 4 straight free throws. Who is shooting? Gold will shoot the technical foul on Jackson Pyman. As Coach Antonelli has taken him out, in comes Danny Schmidt. Here's Gold at the free throw line. Dylan Gold has nothing on his line tonight. If you would just make your free throws, it would be a tie game. That's how important free throws are. Somerville is 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Framingham 3 for 15 from the line. Make your free throws, you'll be in the lead. 5:22 over to Blue. Foul, there's your makeup call. Foul's on 5, that's on Reed. That's his second. Team's third. Actually, next time out, I'm going to read the rule I violated for years. And Joe Constantine will know what I'm talking about. Actually, I violated in football, too. Over, down, gets fouled. Jump ball, please. Possession hour goes to Somerville. 5 minutes. Over to Griffin, who has not come out of the game. Gold tips it away. Julian recovers. Julian gets right by Gold. Julian all the way in for 2 with his first field goal. 29-19, 10-point lead. Oh, Danny Schmidt stops the penetration. Great defensive play by Danny Schmidt. An even better defensive play by Jacob, who stops the penetration again, but not that time. Steven has 6 points in this quarter. 10 points total. Now it's an 8-point game. Tommy Griffin. And they want pressure defense. Julian wants the 3. Dishes it off to Jacob. Julian with a great catch. Tommy Griffin gets kicked. Jump ball, possession to Framingham. The Flyers. Four minutes and 3 seconds in the quarter. Will we see Carlins and Colin Bourne come in to help out with this height and painted area play by Framingham? All the way for the baseline cutoff, Somerville, and that helped Jacob again. Great defense Jacob is playing on Da. Not allowing him to score. Even better defense by Danny Schmidt. Shot clock's at 8. Max Blue with the finger roll. Foul. Jacob gets the defensive board. That's 5 rebounds for Jacob. Fouls on 4. Max Blue is frustrated, saying he got fouled on the finger roll. Out is Blue. In is 14 Jaden, and in is number 10 Joseph. 3:31 left to go. Out is Gold too. Looking to press. Augustin gets by him. Triple team. Reed gets nailed and caught the baseline, but great recovery by Jacob. Jacob has been unbelievable tonight with his recoveries of long out passes, and especially his defense cutting off these larger players, driving to the basket. Tipped away. He's being held by Reed. Great recovery by Augustin. All the way in for 2. Off the glass. Rebound by Da. Another rebound by Augustin. And Framingham is going to just be asking, begging for fouls. Tommy Griffin with the board. Danny Schmidt. Da with the board. 5 rebounds for Da. Here comes Carlins. It's about time. You need to shut these larger players down. All the way for 2. Blocked by Reed. 3 blocks from Reed. Tipped out of bounds. It is going the other way. Here comes Carlins. Who is he coming in for? In for Reed. Reed, incredible. Reed has 3 blocks, 2 boards, and 2 fouls. 2:20 left to go in the quarter. 5-second call, close. Framingham gets the ball back. All the way for 2. Breaks the press. 8 points for Steven in the quarter. He has 12. It is now a 6-point game, 2-possession game. Tommy finds nobody. Jacob is talking, he wants the ball. Cut off the baseline by number 2, Steven. Great recovery again. All these great recovery passes are going to be dangerous at some point in one of these games. Out of bounds, Carlin's turnover. Max Blue coming back in, next dead ball. Low block. Joseph over to Augustin. Augustin's going to control the offense. He's going to run it himself all the way through. Out of bounds, off his hands. Jaden was looking to shoot before he had the ball in his hands. Here comes Max Blue. Framingham again, incredible schedule. They played Corey Lowe, who's the head coach now, former UMass star, head coach of Newton South. They actually played the Academy of the Pacific Rim. Reed is back in the game very quickly. Timeout, Antonelli. He's not happy with any of this play. So here's the rule that I violated for years. Rule section, it is Rule 2, Section 20, non-playing personnel. Non-playing personnel, e.g. spirit participants, media, shall remain outside of the playing area during a 30-second timeout. Non-playing personnel shall be located outside the free throw lines extended toward the sidelines throughout the game. So, I'll read it again. Non-playing personnel, spirit participants, media shall remain outside of the non-playing area during a 30-second timeout. Non-playing personnel shall be located outside the free throw lanes extended, free throw line extended toward the sidelines throughout the game. Now, for those you remember, years ago, I used to shoot during the timeouts and I'd be all over the court. Football, when they'd be down at this end and in the end zone, I'd be standing at the 50-yard line to get a better angle. But I was paying that close attention to the game. If there was an interception, I would have gotten off the field quickly. So, 1:21 left to go. There's your rule of the game there, Johansson. See what you think of that. Steal, Max Blue. Look at that speed. Foul on Julian, please. Max Blue finally gets the 2. I mean, Julian crashed right into him twice. I mean, what do they... 4-point game. They've cut that lead. Somerville's only scored 4 points in this quarter. But this could be a cushion game for you if things get tricky. Hey, that's a travel. So it's a foul on 5 or 4. Fouls on Blue. That's 4. 4 fouls on Max Blue. They had the jump ball and he came around his back and they said he came around his back, which was a foul. Turnover ripped away by Joseph. 40 seconds to go. Really great spin. Kick ball. No call. Ripped, punched away by Carlins. Colin Bourne coming in. Julian needs to take over, but he's being triple teamed. There's another turnover. Framingham ball. Coming back in the game is number 20, Ryan, who has 2 missed free throws. Next step ball, I'm going to read the power rankings and who Somerville possibly could be going to. And we're going to go for a ride on the road because they will not have a home game. I have them somewhere. 19. Shot clock's off. 21. Baseline cut off by the great defense by Jacob. Nobody's reverse. My God. Joseph with the reverse layup. At the buzzer, Tommy Griffin. That's late. So we have a 2-point lead right now because Somerville only scored 4 points in that quarter. Now, top 10 for Division II. We'll go in reverse order. Leominster, Masconomet, Tewksbury, Plymouth South, North Quincy, Oliver Ames, Whitman Hanson, Pope Francis, Mansfield, Malden Catholic. If we go with the other 10, Stoughton, Dartmouth, Longmeadow, Wakefield, Milford, Burlington, Burncoat, Holyoke, Doherty, Somerset, Leominster. Somerville will play one of those top 20 teams on the road because currently they are ranked in the 50s. It will drop when all these other teams don't get 10 victories. It'd be a nice ride to Holyoke to go to the mall in Holyoke. That was the first ever mall in the United States that was non-smoking, the Holyoke Mall. Masconomet, the girls once played there in 2000. Oh, let me say something. For all of you who've been watching the games the last couple of weeks, the girls have made the tournament in 1920. 1920, they played at Wilmington. So the girls have not made the tournament since the 20 season, not the 19 season. The girls made the tournament in 17-18. That game was at Danvers. They did not make the tournament the 19-20 year. I mean, the 18-19 year, the girls did not make the tournament. So all of you have been taking notes at home, and that means you, Johansson. The last time the girls were in the tournament was the 19-20 year in a loss at Wilmington. And for some weird reason, Joe Constantine did not work that game. I had to go to the Cracker Barrel by myself. Colin Bourne in for 3. Count it! Breaks it open. Paul Reed! Blocked by Dobb, but they're going to call a foul. Incredible steal by Reed, and that's what Reed has provided tonight. He has provided defense, shot blocking. Now he's going to go timeout. All right, so. The girls made the tournament, and they had a string of first-round defeats. 09-10, they lost here to Lincoln Sudbury. 10-11, they lost at Lynn English. 11-12, they lost at Masconomet. 12-13, they lost at Andover. 13-14, they lost at Woburn. They did not make the tournament from 14 to 18, where they lost to Danvers. 18-19, they did not make the tournament. And 19-20, they played Wilmington and lost. So take those notes. They have not made the tournament since then. Now the boys, the entire decade. 09-10, they did not make the tournament. That was Franklin's senior year. They scored 1,000 points at Lowell, which basically was a playoff game. And we went to Wendy's. And Joe Constantine got the Baconator. Now, next time out, I'll go the string of playoffs for the boys, and neither team has made the tournament since the 1920 year. But I will go over that. Reed is at the line. If Somerville continues to make their free throws, there is no possible way they could lose this game. And Framingham is in trouble because of all their missed free throws. Look at that, 2 for 2. Reed, 34-27. Gold. Pressure defense by Jacob. Look at that defense by Jacob. Just completely shut down the offense. And he's calling for a screen because he knows how dangerous Jacob is. Another layup, please. Come on, Colin Bourne. That's why Colin Bourne is in the game, to stop him. Close to a backcourt violation. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Julian dribbles through the mess. Next time out, I'll go over the string of consecutive playoff performances by this boys team, and it's epic. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Julian gets trapped baseline. Will Antonelli call a timeout. Steal. by Steven. Running his gold. Tries the crossover. Dribbles back. Oh, in a painted area. Blocked by Reed. It's a foul. Now, when I say the painted area, that is a tribute to my idol, Hubie Brown, who has retired from basketball in all areas. Hubie Brown, very good friends, and went to Niagara with Frank Layden. Frank Layden went to Niagara and played basketball with Hubie Brown. Hubie Brown is also good friends with the late Ed Krinsky, who was my former boss. I used to relay the messages to Hubie Brown constantly through Ed Krinsky, and I would say to Ed Krinsky, "Did Hubie answer you?" And he said, "I relayed the message." That's all I ever got. But Hubie Brown is still my idol. I'm wearing this tie in tribute to Hubie Brown. Deep three. Julian, count it. A very dangerous three. The coaching staff is shaking their heads. (37-29) is your score. Framingham, top of the key. Colin Bourne shuts him down. Blocked by Colin Bourne. All the way in for two is Julian. The ball is stripped. Blocked by Gold. Here comes Blue back in the game with 4 fouls. Another giant coming in, Zach Schneider. So you really need Colin Bourne in the game now. Maybe Carlins will come in to match up that height. Baseline out of bounds is Tommy. Steal, oh, Reed. All the way in for two is Augustin. Back to a 2-possession game. Turnover after turnover is Somerville. Cheers for your seniors and Bobby. Almost another turnover for Somerville. Colin Bourne has given them the 6-point lead with his 2 threes. Julian. Reed out of bounds off Framingham. 7 seconds on the shot clock. The shot clock should be visible by all angles of the fan base and the players, and this one is not. All the way into 2, Jacob. Tell you, you would be nowhere without Jacob Underwood Roach. Now with an 8-point lead. Julian, push off on Gold. He's pushing. Augustin says, "I'll run the offense." Wants a screen. Tommy Griffin. Turnover, Augustin. Julian all the way in for 2. Gets the ball stripped, but Colin Bourne recovers with Jacob for Tommy Griffin for 3. Count it! There is no stopping this team. Timeout. Who? So, Somerville in the 11-12 year. No, 10-11. 10-11, they went to Westford Academy. They lost in the first round. The 11-12 year, they went to Lowell and lost in the first round. The 12-13 year, they went to, that will come to me, 13-14, they played East Boston in the school that was Boston Public's TV show. Won there, and then they went to Everett and lost, no. Yeah, they lost in the quarterfinals. Then 14-15, they went to Andover. 15-16, they went to Andover and lost. 16-17, they went to Malden, and then they lost in the quarterfinals against Everett. 17-18, they went to Woburn, and you were in attendance. Prior to that, I went to Bickford's, and all I was able to eat was the crusts off my toast. Remember that one, Joe? And then 18-19, they were ranked at the top of the bracket and they got to the semifinals and lost at North Andover. Played Billerica here, the last game, the quarterfinals. And then 1920, we went to Billerica, and I still regret what I didn't do that day forever in my life. Offensive board 21. Blue for 3. Back rims it. Reed gets double teamed. Says he got poked in the eye, timeout. Somerville. 1920 was the last time Somerville made the playoffs. It was a loss at Billerica in their new gym. The 13-14 year, why am I drawing a blank the second game? It was, the first game was at East Boston. Did we play Everett twice in the quarterfinals? Yeah, we did, because that game was like a Sunday morning. And some fans were not happy with my barricade that day. 4 minutes to go in the game, 42-31 lead. Yes, they played Everett twice in the quarterfinals. Now remember, folks, that's all off the top of my head. They went to Lowell in 2008. Lenny Scaletta did the camera in that game in 2008. The 2012 year at Lowell was the game when you guys had a major announcement and you came to that game. That was a major announcement for the Constantine family. And unfortunately, all those first round games, besides 14 and besides 18 and besides, were first round losses. The sad game was Woburn. 4 minutes to go. Somerville in command here because of that 3 by Tommy Griffin. So there's your playoff history for Somerville. There's your playoff history for the boys and the girls. And those numbers are correct. Another steal. Gold fires it off Julian. He could have let it go because the ball was already out of bounds. So Somerville boys looking to make the tournament for the first time since the 1920 year, and the girls looking to make the tournament for the first time since the 1920 year. Your starting three-point shooter for that team is across from us, Elizabeth McEwing, who hit major threes in that game at Wilmington. She was a junior at the time. Reed, a junior himself. Julian, a sophomore. All the way in. What? Foul will be on Dow, 21. His third, team second. Julian will not be shooting. Saying it's on 13? Foul's on 13. Guston, that's his third. Somerville, ball inbound, baseline out of bounds. Reed. Carry, please. Out of bounds, turnover Framingham. Gould is very excited about that. See if they can capitalize. These guys have been able to cut the lead down to a 2-possession game repeatedly. However, right now they're down by 9, which should be a 3-possession game. Augustin. Time's a wasted, Mr. Kane. All the way in top for 2 is being held. No call. They've allowed holding and grabbing the entire game on both sides. So they've made it consistent. Picking up his dribble. Augustin in the paint. Off the glass. Rebound, Tommy Griffin. 6 rebounds for Tommy Griffin. You would not be in this lead without Tommy Griffin, without Jacob. Turnover, Julian. All the way in for 2 will be Da. As I told you, these guys can run off points quickly. I think these guys have got to play Newton North twice, Newton South twice. Brookline. Another turnover, Gold. Will he score? All the way bound, beautiful. Oh, he could have gone in for 2. Augustin wants it, top of the key. He's going to go in for 2. Off the glass, no. Colin Bourne with the What is that? Gold got nailed. Foul is on one, so the foul is on Gold. Is he bleeding? Got clocked in the nose on that play. Somerville ball. 2:20 left to go in this game. If Somerville is smart, they cannot lose this game. And it'll be a great tribute to the seniors. Julian, Jackson Pyman, and Danny Schmidt have not come back in a long time. Coach Antelli staying with this lineup. Almost a turnover in the backcourt. Julian going to recover to Colin Bourne. Again, foul on Gold. Geez, guys. And Gold says, I can't do anything. Gold is bleeding. He should be coming out of the game. Now he's got blood on his hands. And they don't see that? 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in the game. They want him up. They want pressure up. Tommy Griffin gets trapped. Julian to Tommy Griffin. Travel. And Gold is saying right now, what can I do? Foul is on Gold. That's his fourth. Somerville is shooting. I mean, you guys don't see him bleeding from his mouth? Tommy Griffin's at the line. He's got 10. Again, as I said, you would not be in this game without Tommy Griffin's performance and Jacob's performance and Reed's performance and Colin Bourne's performance and Julian's performance and Anderson too, the twins. He would not be anywhere. In, please, Colin. Can't have any mistakes at this hour. Can't have calls like that at this ungodly hour. Blue, 149. Oh, the way in for two is Blue. Basket counts and a foul. It was great to see all the tributes to Hubie Brown, who coached at William & Mary and Duke, went to the Milwaukee Bucks. After that, he went to the Atlanta Hawks, then to the Knicks. The Knicks sent him packing with Scotty Sterling. Blue gets the. Then he did not coach for a very long time until Jerry West brought him back to the Memphis Grizzlies. 1:36 left to go. 6. Pressure ball. You guys got to pressure up here. 127. 125. Griffin. Gold. 10, 14 seconds. Travel, please. Out of bounds. Julian. Another turnover. Can't have these turnovers come playoff time. 1:16 left to go. Getting back. He wants them match up. Half-court defense. Play man. Blue with the ball. Reed guarding him. All the way for two is Augustin. What a beautiful play. Why aren't you running that more often? 8. Foul. Gold, and he fouls out. He's got 5, guys. He's out. Coming in is Steven, who has an enormous amount of points. 12 points. Gold is out. He fouled out. Who had a lot of trouble these last possessions. He was very troubled by what they were calling on him. Julian going to the line for 2. Julian misses at a pressure situation with 1 minute to go. And it's a 5-point game. As I said, these guys can cut it very closely. They have not been able to get the lead. 44-38. Blue to Augustin, who's going to come off the screen all the way for 2. Scores quickly. Timeout. So, as you get close to the playoffs, Prior to each round of tournament play, the respective tournament administrator will communicate with participating athletic directors regarding pertinent school supervision responsibilities, including a number of school supervisors, which range typically between 1 and 8 in number, requested for the upcoming game. Now, actually, you know, I gotta tell you guys, to show how crazy the rules are for the MIA this year, the regular season ends on the 20th. Now, basically with the power rankings, you'll know between 2 and 3 teams of who you could possibly play. But yet, because you're Somerville, you could possibly play Burncoat, and you gotta struggle to find footage of Burncoat or Holyoke. Now, the brackets come out on Saturday the 22nd. This year, they're allowing games to be played on the next day, on the 23rd. Normally, preliminary games occur on Monday, the 24th, after the brackets. Traditionally, the brackets came out on Friday. You have the power rankings done now. Why can't you do the brackets on Friday? Instead, they're allowing games on Sunday. So, Somerville has 3 teams in the tournament: girls basketball, boys basketball, and hockey. One of those 3 teams is going to play on Sunday. So, Somerville Ed TV, get your plans ready, because one of those games is going to be on Sunday the 23rd, which is in a week. Julian gets trapped. Augustin! Ooh. And Dow collides with Tommy Griffin. Could have a broken rib. He was going for the ball. Where's my score sheet? Foul is on Dow. Dow, his 4th. And going to the line is Tommy Griffin, who is 3 for 5 from the line. And Framingham now has a 4-point deficit with 38 seconds to go, and Colin Bourne is coming in after this first free throw. Tommy Griffin, a big knee ankle brace. Now it's a 5-point game, looking to make it a 2-possession game, as you have Colin Bourne in the game for defensive pressure and to cut off all the penetration in the paint, along with Jacob. Tommy Griffin. See, if you make your free throws, that's what happens. You come out victorious. Augustin with a crossover in the paint. Julian tries to get the steal. He's holding on to Augustin. Foul will be on Julian. But you will not shoot yet. So it's actually a good foul to stop the penetration, but a bad foul as you stop the clock. 46-40. Augustin spin, but a great rebound by number 2, Steven. They want a timeout. They want a timeout. Oh, we got a steal. Dive to the floor, Tommy Griffin again. 5 seconds to go. Bring it out. The entire Framingham team was calling a timeout and no acknowledgement by anybody.
And that concludes tonight's game. The Highlanders thank you for your attendance, and we kindly ask that you promptly exit the gym in the lobby area. As you exit the gym, please help us keep Central High School clean by picking up any litter in your area, placing it in the green trash bar at the end of the bleachers. Good night, everybody, and as always, go!
What's up, man? How you doing? I'm adding up the points. Whose points do you want to know? Whose points do you want to know? Julian had 10.
Can I take a picture with you?
Not yet. At the end. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Where's Kevin Scott?
You come in the next game? Yeah, he'll be here next game. Come to the next game. We'll take a picture with all of us.
Prime.
Yeah, take a picture. You can take a picture with all of us next game.
I'm going to shoot.
Okay, make a 3 for me. Okay, here are the stats for Framingham. 4 points for Da, 4 points and 6 rebounds. Played an exceptional game. The whole team played an exceptional game to stay that close. Back and forth, the lead will ramble. 4 points for Joseph, who came in with incredible reverse layup and a play in the paint. 9 points for James Augustin. 11 points for Max Blue. And leading the way with 14 is Steven, who came back in the end of the game. Unfortunately for them, they were 4 for 18 from the free throw line. That was the game for Framingham. For Somerville, three points for Danny Schmidt, who didn't play much in the second half for some bizarre reason, who hit that 3 early on. 2 points for Reed, but he played an exceptional defensive game, dribbled the ball out wisely at the end of the game. 4 points for Jacob, who played an even better defensive game, as Jacob played larger players throughout the game, defensively, rebounding, and blocking shots. Reed had 3 blocks. Jacob had 2 blocks and 6 boards. 6 points for Colin Bourne. 8 points for Jackson Pyman on his senior night. And leading the way, Tommy Griffin. Actually, no, Julian had 10, and leading the way, Tommy Griffin with 13 points. They would not have been anywhere without Tommy Griffin, Jacob, Reed, and Colin Bourne. And Somerville was 14 for 17 from the free throw line. So that is the reason why you got this win. That is the reason why you are now climbed all the way back to 500. You are 9-9, and with 2 games left to win, 1 game to make the tournament, you have Peabody on the 18th and Plymouth North on the 20th. Peabody needs to win. That will be a competitive game. We're not going to have Thad sitting here and not subbing at all like he did a couple years ago, because they need that win to possibly make the tournament. And Plymouth North is also in contention to not be in the tournament. So that's where you stand. You have 2 games left to win 1 game, and see if you can win all 3. Your final score is 46-42. Somerville is now 9-9. They have clawed their way all the way back to 500 to respectability, and what they've done this season is not anywhere other than a remarkable effort by all these players. For Joe Constantine, Lenny Scaletta, and Colleen Constantine,